When I was a sophomore in high school, I had spent the first year of high school trying so much to be the kind of person that everyone else wanted me to be. I had long flowing blonde hair, I wore, short skirts, tight pants, and I passed really well as a straight girl, but it never felt right.
I first knew I was gay in 4th grade. I can remember being in the locker room at gym class and looking at boys and hearing them talk about their feelings starting for girls, and knowing that I didn't feel that, but knowing that I felt that way about them, about my friends, and not knowing that I had a word for that yet, but knowing that I was different, but not understanding what different actually meant.
I came out as trans 3 years ago now. When I was first year at Smith, I encountered some really fabulous trans men who I thought were awesome. Well, I thought that, I was like, what are these guys doing on campus then? And then, someone explained it to me, and I was like, oh, you can do that?
I knew I was queer probably after my first year at Smith College, when I kind of started having these really interesting feelings for women that I'd kind of been suppressing for years, and it really forced me to acknowledge the fact that I couldn't just be an ally of the queer community anymore. I had to accept myself for all the parts of myself.
I can actually remember the first person I told and being petrified, but sitting with her on the bed in her dorm room and kind of saying, this is who I am, and this is who I'm in love with, and I need you to know this because I need someone else to tell, to know that it's real and it's honest and it's good.
High school was a little bit difficult. I didn't really have a lot of friends there. My school had a lot of dropouts, so a lot of my friends dropped out, and then I just wanted to hang out with them all the time. I ended up sticking up a lot for my gay male friends who seemed to get harassed a lot more than I did, and just tried to make it through, and yeah.
High school sucked for me. I hated everything about it. I hated the cliques. I hated the constant popularity contests. I tried my best to fit in with my little group of friends, but I always felt different.
In my junior year of high school, I was outed by a newspaper article in the Arizona Republic, and that was a really scary time for me. The school I attended didn't have the best climate. I was bullied from time to time, but I found ways to get through it.
Well, I grew up in a very conservative rural area, so no one was out. Like, I was afraid of getting the shit kicked out of me, basically. But I think it's one of those things that everybody sort of knew but didn't talk about. Like, I had a boyfriend in high school who actually looks a lot like I do right now, which is sort of ironic, I guess. But that was very short-lived.
Everyone says that just when you accept other people that you can accept those parts of yourself, and it's not true. It was really hard to move from being like, gay people are down, I totally support the movement, I will support it as an ally, to being like, you know what, I like chicks, I like them a lot.
I admire the students now who are out in high school. I really give them credit for what is a difficult time already, but adding to that, being out is really amazing.
What I did once I, came out to myself is I started looking into not just my high school, but the surrounding community. Because a lot of times, you get put in high school with these people that you don't necessarily like. It's like you don't get to choose them. But once you start looking out into sort of the real world and into the surrounding communities, you find that people have this really great just great queer base out there. There's just a lot of people out there who are really queer and have these great different communities, and you can sort of pick, who you want to hang out with. You can pick people that you like instead of people that you were forced to be with.
I wouldn't have moved to Seattle if I didn't go through high school and go through all that turmoil. Getting away from your town and your high school is the most amazing part of making it through, and I think that that's something to wait for.
Well, we found each other for one.
Yeah, that's true.
And we got married last year and had all of our friends and our family, and it was a wonderful, beautiful ceremony. And then we moved across the country, and now we're living in Northampton.
For me, some of the greatest things are, that I have a loving family, and I'm lucky in that sense. So for me to bring a boyfriend home for Thanksgiving is not out of the realm of possibility, and I have. And I've had, boyfriends spend holidays with us, and my family's been incredibly accepting and incredibly welcoming. And if you had told me, 20 years ago that my father would be incredibly supportive of me as an openly gay man and incredibly supportive of my relationships, I probably would have laughed at you and said that it was never going to happen. But you know, people are funny and people are surprising, and you never know where they're going to end up in their journey. And you know, you owe them to be honest. And I think I've learned that I owe people honesty, and hopefully they'll return it with compassion and love and hope.
I've tried to do as many things as I can. I've marched in the Equality March last October, which was amazing, and I got to meet Dan Choi, which was really great. And I also have been really active in the pro-choice movement, because there's another movement that has a huge lacking of people of color in them, and specifically women of color and their issues. And it really pertains, of course, to women of color, because women of color have a very high rate of getting abortions, and yet they're very not represented in the movement. So I've tried to be a very active voice in that. So I was the president of the organization here last year, and we did a lot of free HIV testing and many other programs, and I'm still active. So. And I'm applying to grad school this year.
That's great. Well, I graduated, so that's great. Need it. Right now, I'm working at a coffee shop in downtown Northampton. I'm just sticking around, making some money, trying to figure out my life. I really want to save up to get top surgery, which is something that is actually now a foreseeable goal in the future, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm just planning on taking some time off, maybe until February, and then like looking for another job. And I'm starting in the process of applying to law school, because I really want to do sort of advocacy work and maybe public defense work for like the trans or LGBT community.
We actually met exactly 1 year ago today at the National Equality March in DC. And so you're just, like we were bused down there by the college. We were both going to Vassar at that point. And like you're just surrounded by all these people that care about the exact same thing or fighting. And it was a really hopeful experience. And it's great that I remember it.
Yeah.
Last year, I got the chance to live in Washington, D.C. for 7 months. And I interned for the policy department at the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network. And so I actually got to work on legislation that would help make schools safer for all youth and fight against bullying through policy work, which is just absolutely incredible. And then in the fall, I got to work on Capitol Hill. I got to be an out lesbian working on Capitol Hill for a member of Congress and learn about how American government works, but also bring my voice into things that happened there on a daily basis.
Great things are ahead for you. You just gotta look ahead and know that some of the best people in your life you may not meet, you know, for a month down the road, a year down the road, or even just tomorrow. You just gotta keep believing in who you are, and you will find those people that also believe and love you for who you are.
I'm Carolyn. I identify as gay, and hopefully someday I'm going to be a doctor. My dad just came out, and it does definitely get better.
I'm Rose. I'm a lesbian. I am from a small town called Lesby, Maryland, and now I'm a Smithy, and it's gotten a lot better.
My name's Tana. I identify as bisexual. I'm from a small Midwest town. It does get better.
I'm Ellen. I'm a lesbian, and I'm also an artist. It gets better.
I'm Katie. I am a lesbian, and I'm a future elementary school teacher. It does get better.
Hold on to that hope. You know, hold on to hope for all it's worth, because that's really all we have in the end. We have love, and we have hope, and we have compassion.
I wish that